What is poppin', everyone?
Pop.
My name is Ryan.
My name's Eric.
And I'm Adam.
I'm Nathan.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
realized
Nathan.
We
We have
Oh,
two
snap.
special guest Nathans.
Yes.
And we are...
Moral
Dilemma.
Delay. Oh, yeah, I invented it. It's where your morals are delayed. So say an elderly person is trying to cross the street, you wait for them to cross the street, and then you ask, can I help you cross the street?
May I help you cross the street, ma'am, after she's already been hit.
That's called a moral delay.
That's
right
moral
there.
delay. That might be our spin-off podcast, because we want that. Because we want more work. We want more fans. But, yeah, we have our good friend, Nathan, who none of us... I mean, I don't know about you guys. I haven't seen Nathan in forever. It's been too long.
Have I not seen you since my wedding?
I think...
Which would
No,
be closer to
I
5
saw you
years.
once at a
Yeah.
Christmas Eve service here
Yeah.
a while ago.
Yeah.
But
that
for
did
like
happen.
10 minutes.
And then
Yeah.
you went,
For
you
10
went and
minutes.
left and moved to Texas for a few years.
Yeah. I didn't want to be around you anymore.
Don't blame me, man.
That's a successful
take it
youth ministry right there.
Yeah.
Just drive them away.
That's right.
Yeah. But for everyone that doesn't know Nathan, good friend of ours.
Top fan.
Literally.
He is literally the number one fan on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Is he number one? I don't know if you're number
I don't
one. Are you
know.
number one?
Is there
I
number
think.
one? Is
I
there?
don't know. It just
I don't
shows,
think it does.
It just shows top.
Just
fan.
top fan.
It gives us the top 3 fans. Should I say their names? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put a
Brittany
shout out.
Roop, Nathan, and Taylor Richards.
Richards.
Yeah.
I comment more than any of you.
Oh, he does. And today, right before this, was our very, very first piece of constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And it hurt, but I liked it.
Well, now you just opened the door. Now we're going to get nothing but that. Oh, well,
I
if they're
wanna
open to
criticize
it, I'll
too.
give them more.
Yeah, we're just gonna get-
Way to go, Ryan. Thanks.
Yeah, but I listen every Thursday, which my drive to, I'm a truck driver.
Yeah.
So I got like a
Driving.
2-hour drive on Wednesday. So I listened to the whole thing on my way up there, and I got Bluetooth, right?
There you go.
So
Here, I'm about to get roasted.
the podcast ends right when I pull into my first stop.
Oh, sweet.
And I hop in, do what I gotta do, drop off the pop, and then I come back out, and I hop inside my truck, and it's like phone connected. And you know what happens when the Bluetooth reconnects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Automatically.
plays the next thing. And so my truck, I start up the truck, and it's like, moral dilemma!
Yeah, my bad.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. No, but I'm glad you said that because whenever I edit, I always have these headphones on and it sounds good to me. But I need to start editing. I need to start editing in my
Yeah.
car.
Well,
Yeah.
you can borrow my semi-truck. Hop in there.
But yeah, that's another thing because I want to talk to you about your truck driving.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I think you were doing that last time I talked to you.
I've been on a lot of adventures the past 5 years,
Which,
for sure.
See, part of me, I love driving.
Dude.
I don't think I'd be a good truck driver, but I want to.
You're too ADD to truck.
What's it like? What's it like?
honestly, once you get the hang of it,
Yeah.
like
Because you drive like a big semi, right?
mine's like a big semi is 52 footer.
Okay.
But mine's
driving-
like 32.
But
like
it's bigger than
half the
my
size.
car.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I wouldn't be able to
And,
safely have
and
it.
correct me if I'm wrong. Your grandpa. Yeah. Your
Yeah,
grandpa
yeah. My
drives truck.
grandfather also drives
He
truck.
got a picture with Coach Neil Brown from West Virginia because he was
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had to go on the same plane to get to the destination to pick
didn't
up a
know
rig.
that.
Had the whole
And,
flight with him.
Yeah, Neil Brown, the head coach of West Virginia football, was riding in the plane
Yeah.
with his
Well,
grandpa.
what are you stanking up?
Did your grandpa
Sorry.
teach you to drive a truck?
No. Okay, that actually happened while I was in Texas
Oh, okay.
because I worked at Amazon for
yeah.
over a year.
That's right.
And actually a year and a half. And when you work at Amazon for a year, they pay for your education.
Oh,
Let's
so-
go.
Yeah, and but little did I know until it was time to sign up that all the degrees that they would pay for were warehouse related.
Oh.
So I was like, I think I'll go for trucking. So I
That was
went for
smart.
trucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you
And
doing like local deliveries or are you the guy that...
local?
Okay.
Local.
Okay.
There's not very many around this area that do local.
Okay,
So Pop
gotcha.
is what I've
Did you
stuck
say
with.
who you work for? Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I work for Dr. Pepper.
Let's go.
Keurig
Shout
Dr.
out.
Pepper. Yeah.
Oh, my
but
flashlight's on.
I
you just
love
blinded
working
me.
for them. They're a great company.
Yeah,
I started out at Coke, did that for 3 months, and then moved to Dr.
Coke the
Pepper.
company, not the drug.
Correct. Correct. But if we were talking like 60s or 70s, it would have been the drug.
Just wanted to clarify.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So
Also,
you have 2
go
kids?
for it.
we're getting ready to have our second.
Yeah.
Megan told me to make sure to tell you it's 30 weeks. She's 30 weeks along because I told somebody the other day it was 25 and I got in trouble.
You were
Yeah,
5
so-
weeks.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
like coming up on the 3rd trimester.
Yeah.
I know these things.
She's very far
So
along.
what does for
Adam's like, I know
me
these
who doesn't
things.
know that? How many weeks does someone usually give birth?
That's
40?
a good question.
Now, okay, you want me to
Adam
get this
knows.
one?
Sure.
So, from my experience, I have 2 kids.
Adam has given birth to 2 children.
Exactly. So,
Wow.
He was
we have found out that it's almost like it depends on the doctor. Some doctors will say you can safely give birth at like 38, 39. Someone will wait until you get in the 40th week or 40, 42. I think it's actually 42, 43 is what they say is the
So
full.
she's pretty far along.
I was going to say 32.
So she's showing like the baby.
Oh, she's showing.
pregnant.
Oh,
yeah. Like second trimester.
Is she at that
looked-
awkward stage where she can't get up on her own?
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah,
you
she
hit
was at that stage
32
at the
weeks,
beginning of the
you
second
just start
trimester.
getting your bags packed. You start getting the
Yeah.
route planned
Yeah.
out. You start
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
hit 32 weeks. That's usually when it could.
See, my
could
wife
happen.
what we've been up to
was
this
really convenient because we'd always go in the morning, like around 6 or 7, and then she'd have the baby by 11:30 or 12.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Ca-
all 3
Carrie,
of my kids were all.
Carrie was 4 hours, and then Joanna was Jonah was about 4 hours, 4.5, and Joanna was like less.
Yeah.
I don't
In and
have
out.
any really good input, but I was,
You were a baby once.
no, well,
Well, you got
I
siblings.
have some. When I was in 4th grade, I showed rabbits at a fair once,
Oh, really?
and actually, here's a bad.
You don't
story.
remember when Becca was born? Did you go see Becca? when
Actually, I
she-
do remember when Becca was born.
Okay.
Great day.
Go ahead and tell your
Great day.
story.
But a bad day was I was breeding rabbits for 4-H. I don't know why I did that, but it was fun.
You ever said breeding rabbits was fun?
I bred these 2 rabbits, and they had like 3 babies, and I kept one of the babies in the cage with its mother. This is messed up. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to anyway.
Did it eat it?
No, not yet.
Oh.
But so
I coaxed it a little bit.
So I put this baby rabbit in the cage with its mother, and I was short on space. I was going to sell them, but one didn't sell, I guess, and I just stopped selling it. I was going to keep it. So I was like, it's fine for them to just grow up in the same cage together. But as rabbits do, they bred.
Yeah.
And
You had a bunch of inbreds.
And no, well, this is it worse. I didn't know that the mom was pregnant by her offspring.
Yeah.
And
Gross.
And I found out though because I opened up the little hutch to see the rabbit, and there were babies, but she had eaten like half of them.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
that sounds about right.
And I looked at it, I turned around and threw up, skipped school that day, missed the bus.
Did she eat them
Done
because
with
they
her
were
rabbits.
inbred?
I don't know.
No, I think. See, the reason why I made that comment is I think rabbits do that. Like, when
Yeah,
they're baby,
rabbits
I think,
do, I
I don't know
guess.
why. I don't know if it's because they think they're the weaker, or they
Wow.
produce so many that
I
they
didn't
can't,
know rabbits could be so vicious. I'm learning a lot in this
dude.
podcast.
or they can't take
you ever
care
seen
of that
rabbits
many. I don't
fight?
know.
No.
I had a rabbit fight on my hands once. And it was
Really?
terrible. I cried.
You cried? It's worse than a cat fight?
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Wow.
you got to see my wife's rats. They'll fight.
Oh, she got rats?
Oh yeah, they're nocturnal.
Dude,
so-
anything furry like that.
Why do you
that-
have rats?
Megan has rats. She loves rats. They're awesome. Like, they're super smart. Like,
Yeah. No, they
when I
are.
first met her, I was like, you're weird. And then I met them, and she showed me all these cool videos about how, like, rats will, like, go into your back pocket, pull out your wallet, and give you
so
the cash.
she doesn't feed them to
They're
like
smart.
a snake or anything?
So
Right, no,
you
she
catch
doesn't do
that.
that.
They're teaching them to pickpocket. So
Yes.
hang on.
Yes.
I left my wallet in my vehicle.
I already got one on Corey under the table.
Oh, don't go there.
But,
Ready for
no.
that urine sample yet?
They're super smart, man.
No
you,
one knows
you just hear them
what
like
that's
going
referring
at it and
Yeah.
attacking each other in the middle of the night.
How many rats do you have?
Right now, actually, it's just the one right now.
Okay, what's his
but
name?
We've had like 4. I cannot remember this one's name. We don't really care about this
Do they
one.
come and go?
We just got him from a pet store, and he was just to befriend one that was passing away and just kind of like
Yeah.
be there for him.
How long
And
do they live?
He's a jerk, so
Oh, really?
I haven't remembered his name.
Jerk is his name.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how long do they live typically?
Oh gosh. If I say something wrong,
We're
Megan's going to hurt me.
We're
when
gonna
I get
have to have Megan on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
gonna block
I
Megan.
wanted to say 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final answer. Please don't hurt me.
How many more?
She'll make a document, like a whole big paragraph in the
I
comments.
need you to
when
go
this
back on
comes
this podcast and fix
out. I
everything
need
you
to
said
correct
wrong.
my husband on a few things. Number one.
She just exposes us. She cancels Moral Dilemma because we got our rat facts wrong.
One of the things we're gonna have to do for this podcast is we're gonna have to re-air because by the time this airs, it should be closer to November. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have to do the turkey song.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
The
gosh.
turkey
This
rap.
one?
Yes.
No,
No.
It's not gonna be November.
Just-
it'll
come back.
be end of
Wait,
September,
We should
right?
get Eric Eaton on
No,
the
this will be like
podcast.
in
We
like
talked
a week
about
or
that.
two.
Do a live
Dag
one.
on it.
We're running out of
Yeah,
episodes.
it's because of Ryan's fault. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone the next 2 weeks. But hey, it's
What?
right. You guys also are free to have a guest on and do
No,
one without
we
me.
can't do it without you.
That's not true.
No.
What
I
gonna
am a
listen to on
substitute.
Thursdays?
Me and you and Corey
You'll
came
figure it
up
out.
with this.
I guess so.
All right. Another thing I want to talk to Nathan about is I know that around these parts he was very famous for being the MOV Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I want to hear about that because I don't know how it started. I don't know where you got the
How
costume.
how did you get into that?
Okay, all right. So a part of the whole crazy, since I've seen you 5 years ago, this was in the earlier stages of my adventure.
Yeah.
So
See, these are the good stories right here.
when we first got married, I worked at WTAP and I was
remember
working, night shift, and I was like, we wanted to do something, the two of us,
In
and
charge of the
something where we had more.
infomercials, right?
Yeah. We wanted to do something, two of us, so we went out and we started a cleaning business.
I remember
that. It
What's
was
it called?
super awesome.
Mythical Cleaners?
Mythical Cleaners, yes.
That's a cool name.
So we started that, and man, it was awesome. We loved that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bringing in the money.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, I became a youth pastor at a church nearby,
Mm-hmm.
and also I, found this job working for this company that. You get suited up in these different kids' character costumes, and then you go out to these parties, and they'll pay you whatever
Yeah.
the project is or whatever. So I did that, and they wanted to see if I'd fit in the Spider-Man costume, and I was like, so I fit, and
There you go.
The first one I ever did was actually at a school
Okay.
for a kids basketball game, and I went out and I
Your
cheered
first time had to be in a
Yep,
crowd that big.
I sat down in a classroom with kids and talked to them and answered questions, and then I immediately went out and danced with the cheerleaders out in the basketball game. And it was really awkward because I was just with the class. I was just
Yeah.
told that we're gonna go in there, you're gonna talk to the kids. End of story.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the basketball game. So when we walked out there and I walk into the basketball court, the announcer's like, Spider-Man. And I was like,
You're like, where?
hey!
Where?
Yeah.
And you didn't want to disappoint, right?
Right, exactly. So, I, went out there and
How many
did some
cartwheels did you
dances.
do?
I did one pathetic one. I won't demonstrate. But, so it went from there, and I ended up, they sold the business. And
Okay.
I told them, hey, I'll buy this suit off you, and I did a job for them for free, and then they gave me the suit in return.
Yeah.
So you're freelancing
just kept-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, freelancing
And you're
Spider-Man.
still kind of doing that, right?
Yeah,
So,
I am,
look,
actually.
If you have a birthday party and you want Spider-Man to show up,
MOV Spider-Man.
And I can attest because I actually did call him to come do my son's birthday party a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I actually have footage.
Yeah.
Of
we'll
Spider-Man
Have
in
we'll have
action.
to use that on that podcast.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
can't let the kids listen to this because it'll ruin all of their perceptions of
Ruin the
Spider-Man.
magic.
This is not made for kids. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
This is for like 16 and up or something.
Yeah.
I did lots of cool stuff, man. I went to Warehouse Church. They were doing a superhero theme for the kids.
Uh-huh.
I got to do that. Spider-Man: The Homecoming
Oh, yeah.
just came out, so I went to the movie theater and
Dude.
I just went in there.
And
took
I
pictures
will
with people as
say, I
went
was
in.
really impressed. Not only because it looked fantastic, but, you got these kids coming out there and he's not clinging to walls. He's not
Yeah.
swinging. And, they're asking all these questions and he fields them like a champ.
And you have a cover story, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
What's your
As to
cover
why
story?
I'm
no
there.
skipping a beat. It's.
Yeah, I
Top
typically
notch.
go in like with a game plan of like what I'm gonna say to different questions, or like, oh, hey, I'm in town because Sandman was spotted nearby, and
that's cool.
you know,
Yeah.
I'll say stuff
you're
like
just
that.
patrolling.
Yeah.
So what do kids do, or so what do you do if kids ask you to like climb on a wall or something? What do you say?
Typically, I say I have special equipment for that, and
which is true.
since I'm in an area full of civilians, I didn't want to bring any of my fighting gear with me.
That's smart.
So yeah, because everybody asked me to shoot the webs.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah.
I don't got that. I thought about getting silly string and doing that, and just being like, "This is what I have for today."
This is all I brought.
Yeah, no, it was good, and I'll tell you, like the reactions were just priceless. Like there was a few, and it was just a small party with some of his friends, and a few of them were like nervous, didn't want to get around.
Yeah.
Some were just like standing just in awe. My son was just like
I
he
remember
didn't
seeing
know
the video.
what to react like. He was shocked and excited and happy and probably like, what is going on? But like it was
And I mean,
was a
cool.
mixture. It was so cool.
This isn't just like some Halloween city
No, it's
costume.
good.
It's legit.
Yeah,
Like, it
it's
looks
good.
good.
It's movie quality.
That's crazy.
That's the best and worst part because I can't see a darn thing in that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, already I can't see without my glasses, and then you
Oh,
put
yeah.
that thing on, and it
couldn't
starts
imagine.
going up over your eyes. And there's times
you
I
need to fixate some lenses right
Yes.
inside so your
Yes.
glasses lenses. So
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, it looks cool. It's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Well, it's good catching up with you. man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
glad you're here.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. I'm
No,
so
this
excited
is
to be here.
it's a perfect person.
Yeah.
Because our next topic is something that when I first met Nathan, this is what we bonded over.
Yes.
It's Xbox 360.
Yep.
Because I remember the first time I ever hung out with you. Well, I guess the first time like outside of church.
Post that.
Yeah, we should post that.
I will.
We'll get to that. But I went to Nathan's house and played Assassin's Creed multiplayer at his house. And I remember,
Wait, Assassin's Creed had multiplayer?
yeah,
Brotherhood.
Oh,
Yep.
brother.
And I walked downstairs and saw his setup, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because Nathan had, for the longest time, maybe even still, one of the coolest gaming setups at his parents'
Thank you.
house. It was
Thank
so
you.
sick.
You probably taught a lot of people here in this church how to set up a proper.
Probably.
I remember he was so proud of us, and he'll probably still brag too. Because he took a video. You had a big LAN party, I think.
Yes.
And you took
Yes.
a video, and you walked, just
Yes.
randomly walked over, grabbed the control. It might have been a multiplayer Assassin's Creed. One-handed assassinated
Oh, I remember
somebody.
that.
Yes.
I remember that.
And
I
he's
am
holding the
super proud of
phone at the video, and he's one-handed, took a
you have
controller,
that
and
footage?
assassinated.
I do have that footage.
I remember
it's
you
in my
telling me
YouTube
that.
channel, actually.
Oh.
We should link that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yes.
It's impressive.
I love that.
When this episode airs, send it
Yeah.
to us. Or
Absolutely.
Link it. Say, here, this was, yeah.
yeah.
Since then, though, my newest, proudest thing is me and my buddy Keenan.
thought you were gonna say
we're
your
so
child.
synced up that like he grabs one end of the controller and I'll grab the
No
other
way.
one. And dude, we went positive in Call of Duty. I kid
Are
you
you
not.
serious?
I kid you
You
not.
played a whole match in Call of
A
Duty,
whole
like with you
match.
both working together.
a whole
That's
match.
impressive.
And we hooked up mouse
That
and
is a
keyboard
bond.
the other
That's
day
always
and
a little
tried that
scary,
out. And, yeah, that was fun.
Wow.
Not when you do that with Megan.
No,
No, see, you need to work on your relationship.
no, she'd get violent. Don't play Mario Kart with her. I'm warning you.
Oh, really?
Wow.
She's a little competitive.
She's very competitive, especially with Mario games.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with Mario games.
So, kind of what we're talking about is favorite Xbox 360 game. Do you have a special one that you like?
Oh, we're starting with me. That's not a good
Oh,
idea.
oh, no? Okay.
Let's start with Adam.
I'll go.
I want
Okay.
to start with Adam.
This is so tough for me because, man, I don't like to be definitive. I'm not that picky.
Yeah.
I'll usually find something good about everything. That's just my optimistic attitude. But anyways,
So you
if
take
I had
a
to,
crappy game, you're like, this game's awesome.
Well,
Anyway,
I can say
the Burger King game that came out, the little race car
Sneak
game.
King.
I know.
sneak game.
But I,
Sneaking. That's what
Yep.
But man, for me, 360 games, I actually have. I would have to say my favorite is Assassin's Creed.
I figured you'd say that.
I love Assassin's
Which
Creed.
one?
I've been since the beginning. So the very first one for me was just awesome. Just because it opened up a whole new world.
Yeah.
Now, I did like the Ezio story a little bit, but then of course it kind of varied from there. But
I don't like it now. Do you like it now, Nathan?
I love Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Still? Really?
I still do.
It's different,
There's some
but
of
it's
them-
not Assassin's Creed anymore.
Yeah.
It's not.
I still enjoy it.
I loved I love anything, movies or games or anything like that, where it talks about an old setup or an old organization or something that's been around forever, and then you see that in the first game. Like, you realize this was a hidden thing. It's so cool, and you see how it's integrated. They've
On the
steered
road to
away
Damascus.
from that. Yeah, they've steered away
Yeah.
from that over
sure.
the years. But man, a couple other ones that just really were like pinnacle for my 360 days was Halo.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
I know Halo
Right.
came out on regular Xbox, but for me, I really got into Halo when it was 360.
Halo Reach was mine.
Yeah, and
And
then
I'll talk
definitely.
more about it here in a second.
But and then man, BioShock.
I
Yeah.
love
like
BioShock.
Yeah.
I was going to mention
I
one of
actually
those.
walked down and looked at my and just looked at my games
Yeah.
again just to
I'm
kind of
actually
get.
surprised you played that because it's a little horrifying in a way.
Oh, it is.
spooky.
Especially
Especially the one,
Because I know
the
that's not
first
something
two.
I like.
one,
But
yeah.
it
Well,
was
no,
great.
no. It's okay if it's. I don't like the jump stuff in Doom.
Yeah. I
Like
see.
Doom, that I couldn't play Doom because it's dark and then you turn a corner,
Yeah.
The older
that
ones,
just
yeah.
that gives me a heart attack. That stresses me out.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, I'm fine with. It is a little weird and kind of out there, but yeah. So that's really my favorite is Assassin's Creed, but then I like Halo and then BioShock. Man, those are classic.
Those are very good answers.
I can get mine real quick.
Go ahead.
So Adams took two of mine, actually, but the third one hasn't been said yet. Definitely Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That's the first game I completely completed. And oh man, I had a great time. And the reason I'm not a huge fan of the new Assassin's Creed games is because I loved when it would split more often between the future and the past.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that link because I haven't played the new ones, but I don't think they do that at all, do they?
Nope.
Not really, no.
Really? I love that. I thought that was such a cool thing, and it was a good palate cleanser of gameplay because you can switch over to like the real world and.
I will say with Odyssey, like they did do it a little bit more,
Okay, yeah.
and they threw some really cool stuff.
Really?
Actually, like mixing in the two stories together.
Now I would say there's only one that I refuse to play, and it's just my personality.
The one where he plays the bad guy.
Rogue.
Totally defeats all that ticks me off.
I mean,
I'm just
it's
that
just
way,
a
though.
cool, different aspect of the story, though.
I know,
Like, I feel like
but
you'd still
no.
like it.
I get that, but man, the ending was so awesome. It tied in Black Flag and Unity.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
the
wow.
ending actually it revealed. It came out so long ago, and who cares about spoilers?
Spoil the crap out of it.
It actually
You're gonna spoil it
reveals
for
that
me.
he's the person who assassinates the father of
no way.
the guy in Unity at the beginning.
Ah,
Yeah, he's actually
See,
the guy.
Unity for me is when I kind of stopped playing because I
Really?
really didn't like Unity, and then
I've slacked off a
I got
lot,
super
so,
pumped
yeah.
about Syndicate.
Yeah,
And I couldn't get into Syndicate.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the characters. But yeah, Assassin's Creed's one of mine. I also loved BioShock Infinite. I thought that was
Oh man, I remember you playing that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
came to church and man, you were talking it up.
yeah because that
remember
just set off my BioShock phase. And I mean, just recently I played the remasters or whatever on PlayStation, and I played all
Yeah.
three of them right in a row. I think now that I've played through all of them multiple times, I think that my favorite after the remaster is probably the very first one. I really like the atmosphere of that one. I think I like it more than Infinite. But yeah, those are great. But my favorite 360 experience of all time was Alan Wake, which I figured you'd like that.
Yeah.
I figured you'd like
Yeah.
that.
That's
And
up your
I
alley.
think it's so underrated. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't
Absolutely.
even know that it exists.
Absolutely.
But I remember that was
If you have the Xbox Game Pass, you can download
yeah,
it for
Yep.
free.
and on PC now, right?
It's
Yeah.
on PC.
But
Yep.
as a PlayStation person now, that's the one thing I miss out on.
Oh, that was such a good game.
Incredible.
So
And
unique.
That was one of the first horror games, I guess you want to call it that I've ever played, and I loved it. I also loved the combat of it because you had to like shine the light
Yep.
on the enemies to like make them to where you could hit them with a bullet.
What was that?
It was crazy.
Creepy game we played at yours. I remember having to help you with. It was out there.
Oh, the
I don't know,
playable teaser game.
No, that one was crazy too.
PT you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, like, there would be these moments where, like, he was getting like a psychic attack thing, and you had to dodge all this stuff. You had to
Dead
use
Space?
the controllers a lot, or so. I cannot remember what it was.
I don't know.
You know it if I
want to say
didn't
you're
know.
talking about Beyond Two Souls,
No.
because that's what
No.
that sounds like.
It was like present time, but this guy was. I mean, I don't remember
It's
enough
hard
of
to
it.
tell. I've
Was it a
played so
horror
many
game?
different games.
But a lot of it was just like sometimes it'd be your house and just be me and you.
Yeah.
And I'd have to help because sometimes it was just the buttons were moving so fast. I remember
Yeah.
helping do some parts of it or something like that.
Two-hand.
But oh man,
It was
I
on
can't remember.
360 though.
I think it was 360.
Okay.
I
Was
don't
it
know,
The
that
Evil Within?
That was out
Is that what
there.
it's called, The Evil
No,
Within?
It was
Evil
out
Within.
there.
Oh yeah, that was a good game too. I bought that off you. The
That's
first
right.
one.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember I sold that. I've always Eric called me out a few episodes ago about selling games, but,
Yeah.
and I know you keep most of your games. Like, you don't,
I'm mostly
yeah.
digital now,
Okay,
but
really?
whenever I do have physical though, I do sell and then buy
Okay.
buy the next game.
Gotcha.
Like
I'm the collector of everybody.
I save all.
collect.
I have
yeah,
all my games.
Adam does too.
yeah. See, once I play a game that I know that I'll eventually want to come back to, like I know that's going to be enough time for me to like just buy
Get
it
it cheaper.
again, and I'll sell and get the next game I want to play. So
Well, see, that's the way you're able to play all the new AAA titles. You buy one once you're done
yeah,
with it,
for sure.
and then you sell
Yeah.
and get the next
That's
AAA
expensive,
title. It's expensive. You can't afford it. And I'm the kind of guy like I got to play all the new
Yeah.
trailer. I got to play all the new AAA games.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Man, I've this question was hard for me because I actually looked at I've actually got a plaque at home when the 360 was done.
Yeah.
I know it sounds overboard nerdy,
No, I
but
wouldn't
I
do it.
actually got all of my saved data on a USB stick that says Xbox, and then I put a plaque on
That
it
is so
that
that's
says all the
cool.
games I played on 360 and all the
that's
gamer
cool.
score I got on
because
360.
I remember when you hit 100,000.
Yeah.
and that blew my mind.
Oh man, I was so proud of that.
How
So
much
proud
did you
of that.
end on? I mean, I guess you can still work on it, right?
I'm still
Did that-
working on it.
Yeah,
did
it's
that carry over?
absolutely.
Xbox One.
What are
Yep.
you at to now?
180.
Dang,
180.
that's insane.
But yeah, I played 185 games on the 360, and
Wow.
most of those were just AAAs because I don't really play indie
Yeah.
or like smaller games.
Yeah,
So
that's inspirational.
yeah.
Because I remember when I hit 30,000, I thought I was an animal, and then Nathan was like, "Oh my gosh, I just reached 100,000," and I was like, "Frick me."
Honestly, when it comes to achievements, my proudest achievement yet is Fallout 4.
Oh, really?
I actually took vacation. It was when me and Megan were dating, and she sat there and watched me play the whole time. And she later confessed, that wasn't very fun for me. I'm like, dang it.
It was fun for me.
Yeah, exactly. I played it for a week straight, took vacation off work just to play that game, got every single achievement in that game, did absolutely everything you could do within a week, and Xbox commented on my post on
No
Instagram. It was
way.
like,
Oh, really?
congratulations. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
So
That's crazy.
I thought that was
I
really
Did you
actually-
screenshot that?
yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually reposted the same post on
that's
Instagram
cool.
and being like, Xbox coming.
I actually still have Megan's Xbox One.
Yeah.
I
do
bought
you?
from you. Yeah.
Oh.
still
Wow,
have.
that's
That's the
awesome.
only one I have.
I'm glad that's still
And like I mean,
We have a big like trade circle going on right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually had one of your friends 360s. So
TJ's.
the Halos. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Halo 360.
And you have my blue PlayStation controller that
Oh,
broke.
do
I remember. Never mind. You don't
And
care.
We
he's
also
got
have-
PS4.
we also still have Matt Thompson's band 360 in the closet.
I? Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one that got banned.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
sitting in the closet.
It's still banned.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Eric, what's yours?
Well, one of them's Halo Reach. Out of
Oh.
all the Halo games, I feel like that was the most polished game, and it brought a lot of new elements to it. And it was just one of those games where it was highly anticipated because Halo ODST came out, and when you got to that game, if you purchased ahead of time, you got the free demo. And I remember
Oh, yeah.
playing that with. I think you got on too.
Oh,
I think it was me, you, Eric Eaton, and I guess I enjoyed that whole aspect because that was a
Yeah.
game that a lot of us played for a long period of time together, and it was just a well polished, well thought out game. I thought the maps were really good in that game, and so that was a game I really enjoyed playing. And then of course all the Call of Duty games. I mean that was
Yeah,
my first
yeah.
real experience, and I was thinking about this. That I had a PlayStation 3 too. I still do. But I was just thinking about how easy it was to communicate, to talk to people, because you just plug your headphones right into the 360. And that made it just such a nice experience to play whatever multiplayer game you were playing.
Yeah.
So you really enjoyed that. I mean, Black Ops was one of my favorites, Call of Duty
Absolutely.
games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then also thinking about another game was Gears of War that I really enjoyed.
yeah.
See,
I'd
was up there for
say
me.
Gears of War 2
I-
is one of my favorites.
I couldn't decide.
But just to playing the story and stuff. I didn't get much into the multiplayer of Gears of War, but I really enjoyed the story. I just liked the muscle head.
Yeah.
So
type
good.
It was just kind of a cool
Oh,
game.
see,
I
my
really
buddy
enjoyed
was ranked like
Yeah.
top 100 in Gears of War multiplayer.
Oh yeah, he was.
He
taught
was
me
up
a
there.
lot.
Yeah.
He's your mentor.
it.
Yeah, he was my Gears
kept-
of War mentor.
He kept trying to convince me to get on and do it, but I was playing Halo at Reach at the time a lot
Yeah.
more than anything. And I just
Halo was our go-to game. right
It was
there.
the Fortnite of its time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody in youth was playing it. Man,
Yeah.
you did so many sermons based around Halo Reach. We did videos to like go along
I'll tell
with
you
the
from my
sermon.
experience though, I was so like late and everything
Yeah.
because I didn't have internet. I didn't have any sense of being able to play with other people until after I got married. So I couldn't fully enjoy staying up all night being
Yeah.
online. I
it was
couldn't
a
do
lot
it.
of fun.
And I remember
Eric still does it.
I remember
I miss those glory days.
when I got into playing Halo Reach and got to play with everybody.
Yeah.
We were married. We were living in our little rental house, and it was
remember the
plaster
house.
walls. And so she's asleep, and I'm in the next room. I'm like talking like this. Just,
Yeah.
I had to keep quiet, and it's so hard for me to fully enjoy because I could not, I was wake her up.
Yeah.
But that's what I remember playing like Halo Reach, being my first online experience. I'm like, man, why didn't I pay for this? I know why I didn't, because I didn't have the money to pay for it. But like, why was I so behind on the times?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Groundbreaking.
So those were some of mine. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Nathan. Take it away.
This one is just a super difficult question.
I bet.
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think 360, I think Halo Reach. And I knew everybody was
Yeah.
going to be talking about that. And of course, Gears of War. I mean, my daughter, her name is Anya.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Her
awesome.
full name is
I forgot about
Anastasia.
that.
But yeah, I call her Anya. And, our next kid, his middle name is going to be Dominic.
Oh,
So
Dang,
yeah.
dude.
So I'm
Big
I'm
Gears
a
fan.
huge Gears fan. And I've had so many good memories with so many games. Man, Ghost Recon, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah.
Were you big?
Alan Wake.
Did you ever play Fable? Did you
Oh,
get into that?
Fable
Oh yeah,
2.
I still have Fable 2. You
Yes.
bought for my birthday or something like that.
Yeah,
I
Fable
got about
2,
halfway through.
Fable
Yeah.
3. Oh man, Fable 4 was just announced.
Yeah.
Man, so many come to mind. But if I'm gonna say favorite game period that I ever played on the 360, it would be the Mass Effect trilogy.
I should
But,
have said that.
like,
dude.
hands
I'm glad I
down.
didn't know so you could talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, BioWare, like Dragon Age 2, it's right there with
I
it.
remember you
You
playing.
big jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Mass Effect, BioWare in general, they revolutionized
Oh, yeah.
gaming with those games.
Yeah.
Having the choice to do whatever you wanted
Yeah.
and have a different outcome at the end of the game based off your decisions.
Yeah, for real.
You don't get that from any other form of entertainment. You don't get that from movies. You don't get that from books. Nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah.
In something you can still talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Always have a new experience every 20 times you play it.
Which one's your favorite Mass Effect?
2 for the story, 3 for the gameplay.
Yeah, I think that's what I am too.
For sure.
I just remember 2 absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like choices you make as a character that can affect stuff. And it's
I'll
just
have to admit that stressed
crazy.
me out.
Yeah.
When I started
All
playing
the
that,
choices.
that stressed me out. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Oh, luckily there's Google. Help! This one's too bad. Oh man, I gotta at least mention, going away from PG right now, Grand Theft Auto 5
Okay.
when that game came out right before, like right in the
It is
transition
interesting
to
because
Xbox One.
that game has lived on, right?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still living on. It's going to get
I
a port
literally
for PS5.
just.
and-
I don't know if I just beat it again. Like,
Did you?
yesterday? Yeah.
Oh man,
Uh-huh.
it's so good.
See, I poured a lot of time into San Andreas, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I really poured a lot
Yeah.
over into. For me, though.
Mine was
I don't think ever.
Vice City was
Yeah.
mine.
I played a little Vice City, too.
because I loved the 80s, and then
Yeah.
there was a TV show
Have they announced what the
Miami
next
Vice.
one's going to be?
I
I don't
think it's
even
gonna be
think
2022.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not gonna be out for quite a while.
Because
always
there was a
7
rumor
years.
going around the other day that they like renewed their licensing for Vice City, and people were like, they're going to
Yeah.
remake Vice City, and
It's just DLC.
that'd be cool. It's just DLC. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what they're
7
doing a
years
lot
for
with
Rockstar.
5
Yeah.
still is that they're
But no, GTA 5 was a great game for adults.
real quick. I'm gonna fit this in real
No,
quick.
fit in
But
three more.
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out right during a hard time in my life. I played that every single day with my friends. And there was this you get to play all these different mini games.
Yeah.
There's endless amounts of different kinds of games you can play in that
Yeah.
game. And it takes like 30 minutes to get from this side of the map to the other.
Yeah.
It's huge. And one of the mini games is ironically where you drive a semi-truck from one end of the map to the other.
That's where you got your on-field training.
I was like, this is where the passion
Truck
comes
driving
from.
simulator. Or something.
Yes, there is one.
Yeah.
But so there was 4 of us, and I hopped in the semi truck, and you got to race to get to the semi truck, and then the team has to take the truck to their outpost, and then their outpost is on the opposite end of the map. Huge, it took 30 minutes to play one round because the map was so huge. So it was really intense. I got the semi truck. I'm driving it back to my outpost. The guy on the opposite team, my buddy, he's riding up right behind me the entire way. The entire way. He's right on my tail. And I finally get to the outpost. I kid you not, 1 or 2 steps more, and I would have been there. We would have won the game. End of story. And he's like, dude, just wait. Hold on. I was like, what? So I slammed on the brakes. I was like, what? He's like, hold on. I know you're going to win. Just hold on. I want to show you something real quick.
Man.
And my dumb butt hops out of the truck. And I'm like, what are you going to show me? And then bam.
He shoots you.
Yeah, he shoots me, takes the truck, and he won.
That's why, kids, you don't play Grand Theft Auto.
That's why you don't play Grand Theft Auto.
Hopefully that doesn't happen to you with truck driving in real life.
There have been times.
Yeah.
There have been times.
Yeah.
He's the truck drivers off of Fast and Furious who
Yeah.
starting to arm themselves.
Yeah. No, that's a great multiplayer too, obviously, like you said. So good. Yeah.
It is amazing that game has had such life that it goes from almost pretty much 2 console generations.
Yeah.
Going to
And it's
its
already
third.
announced to
Going to its
the
third.
next gen.
That's crazy.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy. And I mean, I recently just played it because I just downloaded it because I was bored. And I was halfway through another game, so I just finished the other half. And it really has aged well. It still
Awesome.
plays better than most.
Another, it was a game, but it was a combination game. It was called the Orange Box.
Yeah,
I love
Half-Life.
that because
Yeah.
it had Half-Life, it had Portal, Fortress, or what was it, Team Fortress?
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
That was just a great combination of games. And didn't it have Left 4 Dead?
No,
Was
it
that-
didn't.
No, it didn't have
No.
that in it.
That
But
game
it was
is
just
still
a great
$30.
combination of games. That I thought.
Left 4
I
Dead's
enjoyed.
still popping too, and they just announced DLC for it.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, which is
Wow,
crazy.
that is
I
crazy.
guess
So
that's for
old.
PC mainly, but
Wow.
still, the fact that that's still, I mean, there's still, the modding for that, I guess, is
Yeah.
off the wall. People are doing all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
Do we have time for our next one?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
We have time, Adam?
Yeah, we have time.
We can do it quick.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We're going to
'Cause I
talk
know-
about DC comic movies, which I guess is very controversial for some people.
Why is it controversial?
I mean, some people just don't like the new DC movies.
I've got a controversial one.
yeah?
so,
Let's hear
Okay,
it.
let's hear it.
Batman versus Superman.
You hated it?
Oh, yeah.
No, I loved it.
You
Oh,
loved
you
it?
loved it.
I
I
loved
hated it.
Okay.
I loved it.
Okay.
I know everybody's got their things.
Yeah.
We've talked about it when it came out, but everybody's got their things about it, and everybody's like, "Oh, Batman doesn't kill," and the Martha thing. They're all valid things, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I loved it for the main fact that as a hardcore, diehard Batman fan, DC fan, it was so refreshing to see a version of Batman who is worn down.
Yeah.
He's done. He's fed up. And he's not holding back.
Yeah.
Because if they were going to do Batman versus Superman, they needed a Batman that wasn't going to hold back.
Yeah,
And
true.
they needed a Superman that was coming on the scenes like, hey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
So
That's a
The
good
one
argument.
thing that bugged me, and I'll share this. The biggest thing that bugged me is that Batman is supposed to be the greatest detective, right?
yeah.
And he had no idea Lex Luthor was playing him the whole time.
Yeah.
That really
yeah.
bothered me. That's
Yeah.
just like I don't.
Especially,
and he knew
yeah, I get that. Especially if he is supposed to be so seasoned, and you think by that point in time he could have.
Basically,
stepped on
he's
easier.
blinded by his hatred for Superman.
Right.
And I don't like that. That's not the
That's
Batman
not
I
Batman,
know.
yeah. I
So
get
that
that.
was
Yeah.
the one issue I had.
I get
I
that.
thought the movie overall was okay, but I just didn't like the fact that Batman, being the greatest detective of all time, he wasn't showcased like that. in the
See,
movie.
and I get that they chose that story arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They chose that story arc. That because I know that is a characteristic of a Batman out there in the comic book world. So I get that, and you follow on that. is it my cup of tea? No, I prefer a different version of the Batman. But the movie was, I mean, action was great. The first time you, fraction of a second, see Batman in that corner of that room, that was
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I will give that.
No, I thought the movie had some highlights, but just the overarching story I disagreed with.
It's just that's the angle they went with.
Batman
I remember, Adam, you really didn't like the fact that he was killing people.
Because that's not. That's not the facet of Batman.
I saw that with you in theaters. I think I think it was first time for both of us.
I was frustrated.
And I remember I looked over when he was killing people, and you looked like a sad child.
I mean,
you were like, Batman, what are you doing?
I was just not the Batman.
That's not his one. That's his one rule, right?
Well,
in some arcs, right? I mean, in other arcs, he kills people, right?
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
But I mean, the one I fell in love with, the Batman I fell in love with, was his parents were gunned down by a gun.
The Nolan Batman.
And I mean, that followed the more
many
traditional.
other Batman.
It's the traditional.
His,
and then
his version of Batman is I would say the majority.
Yeah.
There's these other ones that are.
Because this is when I fell in love with. And then like when he first started taking on crime fighting, he actually sported a gun, but he tried to fight. He couldn't do it because it's what killed his parents. It's like he didn't want to fall into. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cliche. It's normal.
I remember there's one scene that I did think was overboard because I mean I'm kind of neutral on all the DC movies. I'm just not a big superhero movie fan in general. I've said that before. But there was a scene that kind of bugged me. It was when he was in the desert or something. I guess it was a flashback or something.
Yeah.
It was like
and he was holding a
flash
machine gun. I flashed forward and he was just mowing people down. I was like, what?
That was the future. Right?
It was kind of like if Superman became the god type thing that he feared. It was just nightmare fear.
So I guess it didn't actually happen then.
No.
Right.
But it shows,
Okay.
It could have happened.
And like I don't know. To me, like I said, I'll appreciate that type of story arc and that direction that's been written. I can't change that. But I don't know. To me, Batman is so epic to me that if he is that seasoned, he shouldn't need he should be far removed from a gun. I can say early on in his career he can take up a gun, but at this point in time, man, he should be so dominant he doesn't even need a gun.
I will say that was the one big thing that bothered me. He always went back to that kryptonite gun, and even in the Justice League movie, he's constantly carrying guns, and it's like, what? Like that? That's not Batman. That was my biggest pet
because
peeve.
he should be going along with you. He should be. At this stage in his career, he should be 10 moves ahead of everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
10 moves of everybody. And, like, he didn't even have to move, and he could defeat Superman.
But
I don't know. Maybe I'm too...
what Nathan did say, though, about how, like, you kind of had to have that Batman in order to kind of build up the character of Superman in the movie. Because it's also a Superman movie.
I don't know. I just feel like if Batman's so intelligent, which I think the main character is, most of the time, Batman is very like you said, way steps ahead of everybody else. Then I don't know why he couldn't be a step ahead. I mean, kryptonite is always going to be the thing that brings Superman down, so he could use that in other ways.
The thing for me, and this goes to like all movies in general, but DC, we're specifically talking about DC. There's only certain ways you can write about these things. Yeah. But when you put them on the big screen, I gotta admit, because I can't say that I'm that intelligent as a director or creator or writer, and this is where my optimistic really comes in on all these movies. You gotta pick a way, and you gotta stick to it, and you gotta choose to do it. Mm-hmm. And so all these different avenues, all these different theories and ways you could have done it are all awesome. And I think that type of Batman could be good. But could that portray on the big screen well enough, or would it be too comic booky? Because it seems to me they try to, even on the Marvel side, they try to make this as believable, like acceptable.
But they still use kryptonite. They still
right.
I mean, like they
but
still
so, and this is where like they have to make decisions to kind of how close are we dancing around that line? How far away are we straying from it to make it realistic and stuff? So, if they make Batman OP, would that have made it as exciting of a movie, or is it more exciting on a screen to show him be able to battle and fight and be that type of Batman that is needed to take down that type of Superman? Right. I don't know. I struggle.
I kind of wanted to talk more about one. I think Aquaman was a good movie.
Oh, so good.
I loved Aquaman.
The only thing I would say, the only thing that I had an issue with was the Mantis.
Yeah,
it almost looked like the costume made me think of Power Rangers a little bit.
I like the costume.
But overall, an excellent movie, and it gave
I
me
was a
hope.
big fan of that.
It gives me hope for the future, and I think actually Wonder Woman was actually a good
Okay,
movie.
yeah, that was good.
So
Now-
I'm looking forward to night.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Sorry if I'm DC, so I'm taking up a lot of time on this one. But,
Sure.
But see, Aquaman I think is great because what other Aquaman movie is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Well,
And he's always got this bad stigma, right? Aquaman
yeah.
has that. So
Yep.
That's why it
this
made
movie
it-
has set the bar. Now the problem is anything dealing Aquaman in the future is to me. I think of Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire. That movie just
It has to be Jason Momoa now.
Yeah.
that
In my
movie
opinion, I don't
just
think anyone else
brought
could do it like that.
superhero movies to a whole other
Absolutely.
level, and everything
he
was
made
based off
Aquaman
of that.
seem cool.
Based off of that, and the same way with Aquaman. So I'm concerned
Yeah.
that like it did so. I'm assuming it did overall well, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
it did.
Right?
It did
Yeah.
very well.
So
mean,
I
think
worry
box
about
office
like
was.
I
in
think
the
I saw it like
future,
3
can
times.
it?
Yeah.
And I think the same way with Wonder Woman. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited to see.
I know they have the older-
1984,
Yeah.
new
Yeah,
one that
I
comes
saw
out.
that trailer for the first time the other day, actually.
Definitely one of the best like superhero movies like
Which-
out
Oh, yeah.
there. Wonder Woman is.
Yeah.
Yeah. To clarify, not to backtrack, but Batman vs Superman. When I said that, I mean the extended version.
Okay.
Okay, I don't
Because
know if
it
I've seen the
adds
extended
so
version.
I actually
much
don't think I
more.
have.
It adds
Okay.
so much
It makes
more.
it
It
rated
makes
R,
things,
right?
yeah, and
Yeah,
it makes
I'm
things
not-
make
I haven't
so
seen
much
that
more
either.
sense.
It always makes
Which
better
also
when they
brings
actually
up-
include
do-
stuff they cut.
Do
Yeah.
you guys? I assume you guys know about the
Is there
the
R-rated
Snyder cut,
Justice
right?
League?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, oddly enough.
You guys know about the Snyder cut, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna
oh,
be
I
like
know.
a 4. It's gonna be a 4 mini. It's like a,
4
Yeah.
hour
So
thing.
how?
well, I mean, it's
broken up
like
into episodes,
Okay,
yeah.
episodes. Yeah.
And that's Justice League, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I try my best
puzzled.
not to read too much.
Yeah.
Because I read a lot when the whole Nolan trilogy came out. I did read a lot, and it was okay. But I try not to read too much. So this Snyder Cut thing, I'm ignorant on it.
Yeah.
So
So basically, well, sorry.
yeah, go ahead. That's
Lay
what
it
I'm
out.
asking.
Basically
You're
what
doing what I'm
happened is
asking.
that
He's ready.
Zack Snyder was directing the film.
Right.
Then some issues
Something
happened.
happened,
His
right?
daughter passed.
Yeah.
His daughter passed. Oh, okay.
That's
that was
right.
a big
That's
issue.
right.
A
Or-
really big issue.
Sorry, I did not mean to say it that way.
Well, you didn't
And
know.
we just lost more viewers.
Sorry, Zach. Yeah, sorry.
listeners.
That was
That's
that
terrible.
awful.
concludes the
But
No, it's horrible.
the fact is that now who came in? I know it was
Was
the
it
guy that did
Joss
Whedon.
Josh Whedon,
Josh Whedon.
and so he totally wrecked the movie. I guess
Oh yeah.
from a
Oh,
lot
it
of
was
people's
so bad.
perspective.
I really didn't like Justice
I
League.
actually liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was decent.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it was not the vision that Zack Snyder had.
Sorry, yeah.
So they're really trying to correct
So
me if
did
I'm
they
wrong.
reshoot the whole movie?
No,
No.
I think
Or
they
did
had
they just
enough.
take-
They took enough
Oh, they
elements.
reshot?
He's not using a single shot
Yeah.
Joss Whedon used.
Really?
So
I
it's
didn't
a
know
whole
that.
other movie.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's a whole
I had
nother
no
thing.
idea.
An
See,
entirely
I was
different-
getting
Well, it's
hit-
still got elements of the original cut that Zack had, right? That Zack
yeah,
Snyder
yeah,
had.
like
He's not
he
doing
already
anything
had.
additional
Okay.
that Josh Whedon created.
Now,
what
that's
I
kind of
wanted.
been a back and forth thing because Zack Snyder came out and said, "Hey, we pretty much shot every single scene. This mainly just needs CGI and
Yeah,
work done on it.
okay, but it
to
wasn't
finish
finished.
it." So, but
Okay.
I think there was a couple scenes shot, and there were some people that came in and were like, "Nah, that's not true."
Yeah.
So it's that
Yeah.
question isn't.
See, that's what I was
hasn't
trying
been
to figure
answered
out,
There's
like,
always
I don't
been
think.
mystery around
Did he just add the ones that he did start, or just sprinkled it in there and extended? That's what I wouldn't. Or is it like a whole new film? Like
Whole new
that's
film.
that's what. Yeah.
Like I think
'Cause
the
I-
villain's still in there, but it's going to be.
I
Dark
was
Side.
seeing more of those of like Dark Side. You're seeing more of those and seeing the differences between both directors' version of Steppenwolf. So I'm like, well, that's definitely a whole new ball game there. So what is actually going on here? There's no way they can
I had no
insert
idea that
his
it was just a whole new thing.
Steppenwolf in with the other one because they look totally different.
Yeah.
So see,
Well,
that gets me a little bit more
and
excited.
I think that originally Zack Snyder had footage that was not even shown in the movie that was cut by Josh Whedon that he wants to reinstall, and then with the new elements that he's adding,
Yeah.
so to make it completely different.
Okay.
But let's talk about Batman, because everybody seen the new Batman
Oh
trailer?
yeah.
Oh
Yes.
man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
this
really,
looks
really excited.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So stoked
I'm-
about
are
that.
you-
I'm trying to be reserved
Oh,
because
really?
Yeah.
well, not in a negative way. This is once again I get really weird. I try not to read too much. I try not to dive in too deep because I don't want to go in. I've seen this happen to many people go in such high expectations and they get disappointed.
Yeah.
and I'm a big Batman fan. And I don't think there's going to be much that's going to disappoint me.
Yeah.
But I take every precaution I can. So I will learn my lesson because, and this is the other thing too, I was a skeptic of Heath Ledger.
Really?
I was.
Yeah.
And I got
Blown away.
dominated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am not going to do the same thing by Edward this time.
Well,
No,
Yeah.
I think Robert Pattinson, honestly, I just recently saw Tenet. I won't spoil anything because I know no one here has seen it, but he's in Tenet. And I thought he did a really good job. But I think Robert Pattinson is a severely underrated actor. He is incredible. And I think he's going to kill Batman just because I trust at this point what movies he takes
I'm a
on.
Batman
You know
alive.
they're going to be good movies. He's going to.
But-
And this is going to be another like take on Batman, another version, another story arc.
What
so
I
it's
liked,
going to be interesting.
I liked how the trailer started with the logo and
Oh,
you
yeah.
hear the
Yeah.
duct tape. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from what I gather, it's probably the Riddler doing that. So it's a different.
I think
take
it,
on
it is the
Riddler.
Riddler, right?
I
Because-
think
Yeah.
it's Hush.
Oh, really?
I think
Well,
it's Hush. The whole
There's
Dark
a character called.
And this
Hush.
is
I
where
don't
I
know
didn't
about this
read
character.
because I saw a headline where it looked. I'm like, well, he all bands like Hush, but they said the title said Riddler. So
Yeah,
Oh,
in
I
the
don't know.
casting for it.
I don't know.
Let me look it up
Yeah.
because the guy that playing
So
the
I'm
Riddler.
curious.
But there could be sometimes there's cross. Like
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
have two characters.
Oh, yeah, for
in the
sure.
movie,
Oh, they've
for
got
sure.
a ton of villains in this. A ton of them.
Oh, that's
Penguin,
true because the
Raven-
penguins in. Now, I do have to say I don't always like that in my movies. Like I'd rather
Right.
stick to certain,
Because
here's
they
your
had that the
villain.
big flop
They
of
get-
the Batman Forever. They had
Yeah.
Poison
Oh,
Ivy
it's
and
terrible.
Bane and
Paul
Freeze.
Dano is playing the Riddler. You knew who that is, right? He plays I don't know.
recognize the picture.
Have you seen There Will Be Blood?
The what?
There
Will Be Blood.
Huh? No.
Okay. Anyway, he kind of specializes in playing like mentally unstable characters, and he's really creepy. And I think he's going to kill it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a really good actor. I think he's
That's one of the
Another
things
really good
that I would say, kind of get off movies for a second, but just Batman in general that I think Batman has going for him, and I will admit this even though I'm a
he's got
Superman
nice abs.
fan.
Yeah.
No, the fact is that Batman has the best villains ever.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
That's not
I
debatable.
mean,
We covered that.
yeah.
Yeah,
in
we've
one of
talked
the
about that.
podcasts.
Well, I don't care. I just want to restate
I know.
Eric
No,
doesn't
I'm
give a
just
crap.
saying. I'm just saying that I think that proves because I think a lot of our villains be DC or Batman
Yeah.
villains almost.
Yeah.
At least mine were.
Um,
But oh yeah.
but I know that to me, some of the people I heard that they didn't really like the suit, but I thought the suit was cool.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought
Oh,
it-
so cool.
when he's taking off his gown, right?
Yeah.
Well, you see
And
the makeup.
for the-
And
Yeah,
I
for
did
the-
read they talked about the eye makeup because they did that in the older ones, Michael Keaton, and like they were trying to explain that or like they brought
I
it
liked
back
it.
as opposed to
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I liked it.
That's
I
really
thought
cool.
it was kind of.
Yeah.
I think it maybe to me, my first impression of the trailer was this a little bit more down to earth,
Yeah.
like Batman.
See,
This is
my
like-
dream for this movie is a like noir feeling, like really gritty
Noir,
feeling
yeah.
detective
Yeah.
movie.
Same.
yeah.
Same.
That would be so sick, and I'd love to see it get super violent too. I would love to see.
And I know
I want to see limbs being cut off.
I've seen
I really do.
You've been playing
You
too
wanna
much
keep
Ghost
this
of
the
I
internet.
want to see Batman curb stomp someone. Straight up.
No, that is American
would love
Graffiti,
that.
right? Or what is
No,
that?
that's American History X.
Yeah.
Oh, History X.
the
was
internet
the-
blew
oh,
up after that
sorry.
about
Go
the
ahead.
I am vengeance line
That was-
instead of I am Batman.
That's so cool.
I got chills.
Because that's like classic,
Yeah.
I'm the vengeance, I am the night, So that
Yeah.
was so cool.
No, I want to see Batman curb stomp.
Now,
For real.
yeah, good.
I was going to say, since nobody else brought it up, Batman Rises is absolutely like hands down.
Yeah.
That was my favorite DC. I only talked about Batman versus Superman because I didn't think anybody else
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
So your favorite is
Definitely
Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
Dark Knight
Absolutely.
Rises. Yeah,
You guys remember my Dark Knight Rises sermon? I've
I think
done
I
that
do.
like 3
Yeah.
or 4 different times for
Yeah.
retreats and oh man,
Yeah.
that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's here.
And I will say, man, there's all 3 of those movies had some
Excellent.
phenomenal like phrases and quotes that I still say today.
Great
you know?
movies.
Sermon material.
Well, all 3 of them were just great,
Yeah.
well thought out movies that just.
They had their hang-ups,
Yeah.
Bane's voice.
Yeah.
Oh, they had their hang-ups.
I love
but-
Bane's voice.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I thought it was.
But they fixed that, right? They in the middle of it being released.
Yeah.
they recognized that the first showings of that was having issues with some.
But I
places.
still see
So I
people
think they
trash
went-
it.
I
What
think
was
they
the
went
issue
in and
with it?
fixed
Just how it sounded?
that it was too that you
They-
couldn't really
too
make
muffled.
out. Yeah,
Oh,
too muffled.
Too muffled.
okay.
So
But they went in and
redone-
fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they tried to address the issue. And great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, should we touch on a little bit the fact that there's going to be another Suicide Squad coming out? And
Oh,
James Gunn
yeah.
is the director.
It looks
I don't
amazing.
know much about that one.
Yeah, so
I
it
heard
looks,
about it.
if you look at because they just had a DC week like a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And so James Gunn, the director that directed the Galaxies,
Guardians of the
Guardians of the Galaxy,
And
is
then
directing.
everyone tried to fire him.
And
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a second part. Like, they're going to reveal more stuff, another DC event this
Oh,
coming
really?
weekend,
Oh,
I do
cool.
believe.
Dang.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Pretty much they haven't said much, just
they-
besides how many big actors are going to be
Really?
in this.
Yeah,
What do you guys think of the first Suicide Squad?
it was mediocre.
Yeah.
That's the thing about DC. I would say that
Do you think it
right now
mainly
that
was-
they're really they haven't hit home runs. I would say Marvel has done a better job of hitting home runs with their character movies.
Yeah.
DC kind of struggled some, but I think
Yeah.
they're. I'm
And
giving hope that they're turning the corner with some.
See,
of the
and I
latest
can't
movies.
tell. It's because Marvel has been so successful that they are trying to compete
Yeah, I think
and
they're trying to
making
catch
some
up.
poor decisions or making some
Yeah, for
quick
sure.
decisions. Because I think, I mean, didn't they jump up Justice League, like
Yeah.
trying to push that sooner than giving time to explain? And so I get a little nervous for DC because I feel
No,
like
I
they're
think-
trying to push it and
Yeah,
force
I
it.
think what happened was Marvel had a more thought out plan to start with Iron Man
and
go
was able
forward.
to implement it a lot quicker.
Yeah,
sooner.
and I think that DC has been trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
But I think that given time and if they have the right plan put in place,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
they're getting there.
come
Like
out on top.
director like James Gunn
And they don't want to make it look like Marvel. They don't
No.
want to. Yeah, they're trying to make it their own way, and so
That's what I didn't like about Justice League. I felt like they were trying too hard to make it the Avengers. Like,
Yeah.
there were
Okay,
so
yeah.
many lighthearted moments and just
Yeah.
like, why did they put that in the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do appreciate that DC the movies have been a lot more gritty.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That's what
See-
that's what sets
well, they're
DC
trying to
That
find
old-
their
Marvel.
space.
the whole Justice League thing that rubbed me too. Other than the gun thing with that one, is because to me, Batman didn't want nothing to do with the Justice League, let alone start it himself.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like that was my. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He was the I'm
he was kind
protecting
of dragged
Gotham.
in, right?
He well, and yeah, and he realized like, oh, I need to keep track of these. I need to keep tabs of these guys,
Yeah.
and and he's a tactician. He's the tactician of the team. Everyone has
Superman was
specialties.
the one that started the Justice League, really, in the comics. Is that true? Or
It
who
was
started the Justice League?
The two of them, pretty much.
Oh, really? Batman
Yeah.
and Superman?
I mean, yeah,
From what I've read, but there's
Yeah,
so many
it was-
different
I feel like
story
Superman
arcs.
always kind of had more of a hand in it though. Like Batman was still
Yeah.
there.
and like and I don't know how canon it is, but I'm pulling off too of like the stuff you see in like the old TV show.
Yeah.
Batman was there when like it was getting founded, but like he's like nope, kept pulling out. They'd come to him for assistance stuff like that, and finally he just like, all right, here's your satellite, or your whatever.
Yeah.
I'll pay for everything. But
I'm looking overall. I'm looking. I think DC is going to get their act together and start.
Oh, yeah, I
winning.
think they
Well,
will.
the new Flash movie is gonna. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Flashpoint, where the
I
Flash
heard, yeah.
reverts everything, and the whole world gets misconstrued.
Yeah.
And we've
Well,
got.
like they got
I mean,
Michael Keaton
Michael
come back
Keaton's
in.
coming
They
back
got
as Batman.
Ben Affleck.
I don't know who else
They got
is
all these
coming.
Batmans.
They're gonna
in.
reset.
Yeah. So
Make
that's
it
kind
better.
of been their wild card that a lot of DC fans.
Imagine
have known
having that
about,
much
like,
money where you can
when-
just kind of like we're gonna
now
reset. and just
he's
redo
still
everything.
he's still good, right? Like Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
He's
So
still,
far, he's still got
See-
his job. Surprisingly.
yeah.
Why was there something going on with him?
There was
Oh.
a Comic-Con and
He got
girl asked for an autograph and a picture, and apparently he was
violent. He just choked
he
her
was-
out or
I think
something.
he was drunk though. He might have
Something.
been. I don't know if he was
Yeah, I've
intoxicated
read-
or not, but
That's
he
rough.
just
Yeah.
he
Reasons
just
why
beat her
not
up.
to drink.
And he
Got arrested
from
and
everything
everything.
I've read, he's never came out and made a comment about it or anything.
Really?
So it's always
It's been
like
kept
I
hush
don't
hush.
know.
He's a great actor though. I'd hate to see him.
I like-
go.
yeah.
I really like him.
Who
Now-
is this now?
Ezra Miller.
Guy that plays Flash.
He plays
Oh,
guy
the
that plays
guy
Flash.
that played Flash in the Justice League.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like
I just
him.
don't think the DC universe can handle losing another actor
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. So that's probably another reason why they're.
We didn't
putting it
even
the
hit on the
rug.
Joker. We should.
Well,
Oh,
I
gosh,
was
yeah,
going to
that's good,
ask
too.
about Jared Leto, where that is standing because we.
Oh,
talked
He's
about
not
that's
coming back.
over.
Yeah.
But I was going to talk about the Joker movie, the Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
We didn't even
man.
touch on that. That was a great movie.
See,
Oh, yeah.
I
We
thought
touched
that
a little bit,
was.
but, yeah, it
I thought
was-
that was a flawless movie.
Absolutely.
So cool.
But
So-
which also, just a side note, I run out of time. I also recently watched Taxi Driver for the first time, and I
How's
don't
that
know.
a DC movie?
It's not, but looking at Taxi Driver, the Joker movie is pretty much a direct rip-off of Taxi Driver, which I thought was really cool.
Huh.
Like, I mean, just about everything, like the way that they go insane, like the choices they make, like certain plot elements. It's crazy.
In Dr. Speed's defense, he did mention that he wasn't a big superhero movie fan.
My favorite DC movie is Taxi Driver.
What about Shazam? Did you guys?
I hated
Sorry.
it. I didn't like Shazam at
I
all.
liked it.
I
thought
liked
a
it.
great
It was fun.
family
It was.
I hated it.
I liked
It was
it.
it's a kid becoming a superhero. What?
Yeah.
Why can't you like?
And there's nothing's been made before to compare it to. So
Yeah.
for a first film of that type of thing.
See, I think my problem with it,
Black-
I thought it was way too long than it should have been. Like a lot longer than it should have been. Because I was pushing 3 hours, right?
It was probably
It
felt
was like 2.5.
hours.
But
It
all
felt
DC movies are.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
these two movies are.
I just
cut
couldn't
it
get
some
invested
slack,
in it.
Ryan. Cut it some slack.
Hey, I said up front, I'm not the DC guy.
But I'm curious to see like that with
sold on
Black Adam.
I'm not too stoked.
Dwayne Johnson.
I'm just not a huge fan of that. I'm with Logan. I'm not a huge fan of Dwayne Johnson.
I would have
I
liked
am.
to seen
I like
somebody.
it.
I like him, but I don't know.
As a person, I like
Yeah,
him. He's
but I
a
just
great
don't know if I
guy,
see
great
him as Black Adam
family-oriented
because-
guy. Just
Isn't Black Adam is evil, right?
yeah, he's evil. Like it's
So,
a movie based
I
on
can't really
Black
imagine
Adam, the villain.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson being evil.
Watch
Me
Doom.
neither. Oh yeah.
You not see Doom?
Yeah.
That's the first and well, I don't know if you count Scorpion King.
Guess I'll have to
Like
watch
in the
that again.
Mummy,
I have
Scorpion
seen
King,
it,
he was a bad guy there, but
That's
but
an awful
Doom,
movie, Adam. Scorpion King's a really bad movie.
No, not that one because he was like the good guy in that one. But when he played the Scorpion King in the Mummy,
Yeah,
his
that's what
very
I'm
first-
saying.
The Mummy,
No, the Mummy was good. You didn't like
the Mummy,
The Mummy.
Brandon
Brendan
Fraser?
Fraser.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about.
The Scorpion King
Oh,
is
okay.
in that.
Scorpion
I
King
gotcha.
is the sequel.
In his, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a bad movie.
But that's the kind of standalone. But
Okay.
in that, he's supposed to be a bad guy. But anyways, Doom was the first time I ever saw him play a villain.
I've never
Okay,
seen
I'll
that.
have to watch that again because it's been so long.
So, but now that's a different type of movie. But
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Johnson, like whenever you see him in a movie, that's Dwayne Johnson. That's not the character he's playing. That's
Yeah, exactly.
just Dwayne Johnson. Like that's yeah.
I haven't saw all of his movies, but I like it. I mean,
There
you
are
know.
a few movies that I love and I've shared them. So
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
interested to see where they go with the Black Adam
Yeah, me too.
thing, just because I don't know that much about Shazam either. So it's just interesting to me.
this has been fun so far.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
It's been all right.
It's been alright.
It's best part coming now.
So yeah, now we are we're gonna go into the part that matters. We're gonna talk about Philippians today, and
Jesus time.
also quick note: does Jordan and Jeff know about the movie at 9:30? He's texting me right now. Yeah.
9:30. Jeff knows.
Okay. Yeah.
Jeff
Never mind.
Harbison.
Forget about it.
And now everybody else.
And now everyone knows
Yeah.
you all weren't invited. But yeah, we're talking about Philippians. And so yeah, I have my verse is like pretty early on in verse 1. Do we want me to go first?
go
Which
ahead.
parts are you gonna read?
I was gonna do 15 through 17.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then you got-
Nathan just highlighted his entire chapter.
Yeah, all of chapter 1.
Yeah.
so he's like, I'm taking it all.
I got 14.
First time on the podcast, he's
21.
like, I got the my own demands.
I'm gonna read through
whole
all of
chapter.
Philippians right now. But yeah, mine was, and this is something that I was reading through it again, and I was like, this really reminds me of something I've kind of seen recently. But it's Philippians 1, verse 15. It is true that some preach Christ out of envy and rivalry, but others out of goodwill. The latter do so out of love, knowing that I am put here for the defense of the gospel. The former preach Christ out of selfish ambition, not sincerely, supposing that they can stir up trouble for me while I'm in chains. And I thought that was cool. Obviously, like right now, I feel like with the election coming up, a lot of people are preaching the gospel, but really just kind of coming up with something to back up their opinion politically. And I think that's just wrong. I mean, talking about God on social media, I feel like will always be a good thing. Like, I feel like you can't talk about God in a bad way. And he kind of goes on and says something like that. But I just think it's important for us to kind of take a step back and look at, like, are we posting these verses on our page because we want people to know about God, or we kind of doing this for, like, I think of Instagram even, like sometimes people post verses on their Instagram stories, but a lot of the times it's from people that you kind of suspect is just kind of for their Instagram aesthetic. Like, and I mean, I don't know, that kind of bugs me, and I've definitely done it before. Like, I've definitely had verses in my bio on Instagram that I don't even know what they are. I just put it up there because, like, yeah, it looks cool. But yeah, I think that's just a good thing to think about. Definitely something that I've been.
It's like putting
thinking,
putting the scripture, like the YouVersion Bible app. You can put a background to it. So like that, you don't need a pretty background.
Yeah.
The scripture is awesome enough that you don't need
The
a pretty.
scripture's
Yeah,
Yeah.
Put the text. That's,
No,
that's
exactly.
awesome.
Well, I will say this too about social media, and this is why I usually stay away from putting too much on it, posting a lot, is because I don't really feel like that's the way that I witness to people reach
Exactly,
people
yeah.
for Christ. The way I reach people for Christ.
I mean,
is
I do think that some
having-
people, though, like, I think it's definitely happened, and I think
yeah.
that a lot of people have been reached
But a
through
lot of
social
times,
media.
like you're saying, it's not. I'm not always going to change people's opinion, or
Yeah.
most of the time, you're not going to change people's opinion that are opposed to something by just posting
Exactly.
a picture of a verse.
The weight that we put on things we read on social media at this point has become so low that, like, putting something like that.
You're just noise.
Yeah, exactly. You're just noise.
And-
like, we don't hold that stuff to as high regard as, like, because I mean, nowadays, because of social media, saying something to someone in person I think it holds a lot more weight.
And I think that, presidents will come and go, but what are things, if I can encourage people to think about how they vote, is what things do you believe in as a Christian? Like about abortion. What do you believe about, government, being involved in your life?
Yeah.
And how do you want government to be involved in your life, and taxes and all these things?
Yeah.
Think about, those type of things instead of, I don't know. I guess I think about candidates will come and go, but what are the principles that I live my life by? And that's kind of how I try to vote as a Christian.
Yeah. And also kind of what you said today in the sermon, like, we kind of have a voice as a vote, and we should express that, but overall God's in control.
Yeah, I mean, the sky is not going to fall if the other side wins.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever happens in this election,
and it's planned,
is going to be a part of God's plan. Will I like it? Maybe not. But God's still in control.
Yeah.
God's purpose is still going to stand no matter what happens.
Yeah, see, I think kind of you need to take all those things, where you are in this and the scripture and stuff like that, and then find a candidate or something like that that is similar. Not try to squeeze yourself into them. They need to fit.
Absolutely.
And we don't always get the best of all that. We don't always get the perfect candidate that matches all that criteria. But if you have that basis, if you have that, and then you can better pick,
for real.
kind of like the lesser two evils or whatever they say. You know.
Well, and I think that a lot of times when we, going back to that too, is that we as Christians need to be following, living out the principles ourselves, and then we want our government to probably emulate that principle, right? Yeah. So that's how we should consider voting on things and thinking about things. But ultimately, like you said, Ryan, that no matter what happens, I can be so fearful of what this is going to be like in the next 10 years, but ultimately God's still in control.
Exactly.
Of it, So I can't stress about that, no matter what happens to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want to?
Oh, yeah, I guess I'll just do the
Since
next
you got
part.
the rest of chapter 1.
Grab the rest and run with it.
You
I
stopped
had to
at
move
what?
to chapter 2 because
So now starts Nathan Lockhart's commentary.
You started
on all
at,
of Philippians.
stopped at
I
17?
stopped at,
Right?
I believe, 17.
The former preach Christ out of selfish ambition, not sincerely, supposing that they can stir up trouble for me while I am in chains. But what does it matter? The important thing is that in every way, whether from false motives or true, Christ is preached. And because of this, I rejoice. Yes, and I will continue to rejoice. For I know that through your prayers and God's provision of the Spirit of Jesus Christ that has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. I eagerly expect and hope that I will in no way be ashamed, but will have sufficient courage, so that now as always Christ will be exalted in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Man, like, reading this hit me so hard. I've in the past 5 years, I've met a lot of different people,
Yeah.
especially, in Texas. I literally lived at a zip code that was the most diverse place in
Yeah.
America.
Wow.
Diverse
So,
I was holding it in. I was holding it in.
but so I got to meet a lot of different kinds of people from different walks in their faith,
Yeah.
and people from other religions. And I've had people come up to me, and I'm very open about my faith. I talk about it all the time with
Yeah.
my coworkers. And some of those people would tell me, like, look, man, I respect where you're coming from, but he's like, me personally, I couldn't have anything to do with the Christian faith. And I was like, why is that? And he's like, when I go into church, when I think of Christians, I think of hate. I don't think of love. I think of, and I think, this Bible verse puts it's pinpointing that right there.
For sure.
Because we got so many Christians that are doing it for their selfish ambitions, and coming off as hypocrites, and it's turning people away from Christ, which is the opposite of what we are called to do as Christians. My pastor just did a sermon not too long ago about the theme of the Bible is love, and what are we doing as Christians to show that? And I love reading here that even though there are those people out there who may not have the best motives, they're still preaching Christ.
Yeah.
People are still hearing about it. And ultimately, somewhere else in the Bible, it talks about how God will reveal himself to each person, no matter, where they're at in the world or what's around them. And, the fact that people are hearing about God, we should rejoice in that alone.
Oh, for sure.
And, not be angry about it. Just be happy that God's reaching these people and that they're given a choice. And ultimately, it's in their heart and how they receive it. Is what it comes down to.
See, I just, I get where that guy's coming from, but it's like, I don't want you to come in and have my faith.
Yeah.
I want you to learn about Jesus and get your own faith.
Yeah.
So you can come in and show me up.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah, for
me
sure.
the opposite of that. It's not about you. I'm not coming in to be your faith or the Christian faith that. No, I'm not going to fall into that. I'm going to come in. I'm going to discover Christ on my own.
Exactly.
And gain my own faith. And if you're not following and you have social, doesn't mean I'm going to be that way. I'm going to do it right, So
it has to be personal.
But I understand what people don't understand that. They don't quite get that quite yet. But that's what it is that there are bad eggs out there. There are those that, like you said, fall into that. But it's our goal to try to know what this says, know what the word says, and live out what Christ wants in our life. And that's our own faith. That's our faith that God wants us to have. So,
do the best we can. And like Eric's talking about, living by example, that is the best way that I personally believe we can, minister to other people. Is in our day-to-day life. I had somebody share with me not too long ago. They're like, I'm not in a position. She's like, I don't feel like my life has purpose. She's like, I haven't been able to go to church because of work, and I don't feel like I'm doing my part in God's kingdom. And I was like, yeah, but look at where you're at. You're working in a retail store. You've got the chance every single day.
Yeah.
You're in the field. You're there. Yeah.
Exactly,
You're out here. You're among everybody. You got a better opportunity than being in church, in my opinion. You
need to go to church to be there, but if you stay there, where are you with?
You're preaching to the choir at that point.
Well,
if that's all you do.
I think there's two things to talk about there too. Like you mentioned, that there's this. Sometimes we as Christians get to a place where we feel like we're constantly growing in our knowledge, but we're not doing anything with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that is because
we get comfortable.
Really sad. I've seen that with certain people. That's like, I want to learn, I want to grow, but what are you doing with the knowledge? It isn't just about you getting more knowledge. It's about you utilizing the knowledge you have to share with other people. Then the other thing is, like you said, witnessing to people, sharing with people. The way we make a difference in this world is by each one of us sharing our faith and talking about it and telling people about Jesus Christ. No matter where you're at, if you give that to the Lord, He's going to use it to make a difference. You don't have to have a title. You don't have to have a position to be a difference maker.
Absolutely.
For real. Man.
So did you have chapter 3 or did you have chapter 2?
I'm on 3.
Okay, so
I gave you chapter 2.
Yeah, sorry. I stole chapter 2 from Adam.
Oh, guys, actually, I forgot to inform you. I took the whole book. I highlighted read the whole book.
Actually, the reason why I have good old actual Bible is because I have a lot of things highlighted. So
It wouldn't have
anybody picked something, I have extra. So that's.
Well, I mean,
there's
Nathan
too
took
much good
everything,
stuff.
so.
So Philippians chapter 2, verse 14, it says, "Do all things without grumbling or disputing, that ye may be blameless and innocent, children of God without blemish, in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world." And I think it's very important because, one, I have 2 boys that like to fight with each other all the time.
No,
Boys will
surely
be
not.
boys, man.
There's this grumbling and disputing among them. But it's saying here, even in this crooked generation, so even in in Philippi, Paul's time, he's saying that there's a crooked generation out here that just, they just want to hate on each other. And that's sometimes what you see in the world is just a lot of hatred that's out there, sometimes on both sides of the coin. But, here's the thing is, if we can get rid of this grumbling spirit within us and try to live a peaceful life with each other and try to love people in this cricket, we are going to shine, what does it say? Shine as lights in the world.
Yeah.
So we have this opportunity to rise above, not to stoop down to everybody else's level, but to rise above in a situation so we can be lights for the world to see Christ. And I think it's very important for us to take that seriously because we can be a great witness in the disputing. And I've seen this, when I worked other jobs, like secular jobs out there in the world. I don't know why you call it secular because it's just real jobs, right? But you can see there's a lot of, for people that don't have a faith in Christ, you can see how they kind of grumble and complain about their wages, or they don't like this person on staff, or they don't like, these things that happen.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And if you can handle yourself to be opposed to that, and you're trying to be someone that's living in a peaceful way, in a loving way, and try to represent yourself that way, you stand out so much different than other people because you're not one of the ones that are complaining. You're not disputing things. You're trying to help the organization that you're working for, and you just shine.
Mm-hmm.
You just represent something different, and that's representing Christ.
I couldn't agree more with that.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, last but not least.
Take us home.
So I actually had that one.
Sorry, we're out of time.
All right, thanks you guys for watching.
I believe I have the power over here to start and stop. No. No.
Yeah, but we can decide to just be silent.
Yeah. Or we can just make some annoying noise for the next 20 minutes. Sorry.
No, I had that one circled in red, but I mean, I had there's so many. It was so hard. So that's why I was like, well, I'll just see what everyone else picks, and then I'll pick the leftover. But I'm actually glad no one did take this one because it's just really one of my favorite. I preached on it a lot, but it's in chapter 3, verse 8. It says, "What is more, I consider everything a loss compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord, for whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them rubbish, that I may gain Christ." Mm-hmm. And I love that because I'm a Paul lover. Paul, he's just so awesome. And to see his heart coming from this point of, he's considered everything. Everything in his life. I mean, he had everything. I mean, he was growing up in that religious thing, and he gave all that up. Mm-hmm. So knowing everything in his life, he considers it a loss. Just compared to knowing Christ. Just to know him. Just to have, an inkling of who Jesus is. And then he said, he's like, I've lost all things. I've given them up. I've whatever. He considers them rubbish. Yeah. Just so he can gain Christ.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now that is, to me, that is something I fail in. I know I do. Yeah. But to me, I want to aspire to that. Yeah. I want to strive to have that same type of passion, that same type of intensity that Paul has, that everything I have is nothing. I mean,
garbage.
Yeah. Just knowing Christ, having in my life, man, that surpasses everything. And so I try to preach that to the students and stuff like that. So I don't know, I love it.
Yeah,
it's awesome. But
no, that's fire, man.
Yeah, I think that's so important to realize that all these things that we achieve in life too are really rubbish too compared to knowing Christ. Mm-hmm. It's the relationship with Jesus that matters.
And that should sustain you.
Yeah,
Right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
for
enough?
real.
because
Am
like
I
all
not
of us
enough?
could
Yeah.
say like and we tend to do that sometimes. We think about all of our accomplishments. Well,
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, I did this. This retreat was really cool, or
Mm-hmm.
this event was. No, it's not over yet. It's not done yet. There's other things on the horizon, but most importantly, it's about Jesus.
Exactly,
It's about my relationship with Christ. That's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it for Jesus. And
Yeah.
so whatever good or bad things happen, it's all about Him.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
it's so hard because you fall into the selfish, 'cause
Yeah.
you just think you need to get acknowledged or,
Yeah.
you need to gain something more. But no, it's just knowing Christ.
Exactly,
That's more than
And
enough.
the cool thing too with Paul is that he is writing for what he thinks is the now, in his time period. But look at the difference his writings have had through 2,000 years later.
real, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So to think about your impact, who's to say that what we do in our lifetime for Christ doesn't carry forward to years later
Yeah.
because we set a tone, because we raised our kids right, because we witnessed to people, we shared the faith about Jesus. How many people's lives have we impacted because we stood up for Jesus?
It's a butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
It expands
Yeah, and so
exponentially. Yeah.
So realize that your life,
Ripple in the pond.
your life really matters, and what's really important, and that's having a relationship with Christ.
Exactly.
Amen.
Amen.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We
thanks.
wrapping this up?
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap her up.
Before we wrap this up, okay, so this is in reference to episode 10 or 11.
no.
I was going to mail this in. In fact, we're in the middle of a move. We're in the middle of a move,
Yeah.
and I have an MP3 player somewhere, and I was going to go the extra mile and put the playlist on there. And I couldn't think of the last song. I knew there was a big one, and I couldn't think of it. That's why I was looking like that a little bit ago. It was Diverse City, Toby Mac.
No.
I was going to put that on there.
You made me.
I did. When you told that story,
Dude.
it immediately for me was a challenge, and I was
Oh,
like, I
man.
gotta. What would Ryan's playlist
that
be
means
from
so
my
much to me.
perspective?
That means so much to me. Wow. So for people that don't understand, and I guess it was episode 10, right?
I think it was. It
I
was either
said
10 or
that
11.
one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten was a personalized playlist. And Nathan just made me one on a piece of paper.
I've been thinking about it ever since you talked about it, and
Well, you nailed it, dude. Ed Sheeran, X, the entire album.
put the entire album.
The entire album, which is true. 9 in the afternoon, Panic at the Disco, abso-freaking-lutely. Rebirth by Skillet. And
Isn't
then
is that your favorite Skillet song?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it
For real.
was. I
It's
was
that
pretty
and
sure.
Whispers in the Dark.
Okay.
Kind of tie.
Whispers in the
But
Dark, yeah.
Rebirth definitely. I'd say that's probably my favorite.
Okay.
And then Stressed Out 21 Pilots. Nailed
Now,
it, man.
what did I nail those 21 Pilots?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's
Yeah.
definitely one of my.
But I
favorite
knew
ones.
that there was the Toby Mac song. You knew
Diverse
how to
City.
rap every
Yeah.
single bit of it. And literally, as I said rap, I just remembered the Eminem song. Knees weak, arms ahead.
Oh yeah.
That song. I know you know that song.
Yep,
by
you're
heart.
right.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You remembered all
I
these
had that.
years.
Yeah.
That means
Oh,
a lot.
absolutely.
You need to break
Means
out
a
some
lot.
more rap. You haven't done a rap song for a
You
while.
need to do the NF.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
NF
Let
song.
you down.
I'm.
Have you heard him do that?
I don't feel.
Yeah, I
involved.
haven't.
I'm
I
feel
haven't. I
probation.
would love to.
He's really good.
When they had his college buddies probation, they did Let You Down. He rapped it.
Here
Your
at
buddy was
church.
on probation.
Oh, pretty much.
That's the name of the
We'll
band.
tell you the
Oh,
story
okay.
how that came about
Yeah.
later.
That's
Okay.
off the air.
Okay.
Yeah, Nathan. No, thank you so much. That's
You're
awesome.
welcome.
I was wondering what you're doing over there. I was kind of getting nervous. I was like, is he like writing down like a hit list
In
or
the
something?
Corner over there, right? Stuff.
Have you
Writing
never
up an
seen Death
evaluation?
Note?
We haven't even started the
Oh man, no, that's awesome. Appreciate it. But yeah,
That's
Good
it.
episode.
that wrap it up. That's a
Yep.
great way
Thank
to
you,
end it,
man.
Nathan. Thank you so much for being on. You nailed it.
I love
You're a
being
natural.
Thanks for being a
Here. I'll
top
see you
fan.
next week.
Yeah, he's just gonna be here.
He's invited himself on.
Thanks for
We
being
gotta
a
meet
top
before
fan.
that.
But yeah, thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for watching
And listening.
Do we want to do a word of the day?
We haven't done one in weeks, so
Spinach.
it doesn't matter.
Spinach, there it is. Comment
Spinach.
spinach, get a free sticker. We're probably running low on stickers.
I don't even know if we've given it
Which
any
also-
out.
I
stole
I've
them
given out
all.
a few,
Oh, okay.
but that's been a long time ago.
Yeah. Also, after this, I need to take 5 stickers because I told people I'd give them to them.
I'm gonna
Well,
put
we
this
are-
sticker on my cheek and wear it all week.
Dude,
We
put
are
it on your
gonna-
shirt.
We'll have to put some into it.
I can
You
probably
put
just
it on
take
your-
3.
Can
We'll have
you
to
actually
put-
keep it on your truck?
I could.
Don't get sued, but
Well,
I mean, if you do, it's
we'll
for
I
you.
don't think you fired. but-
We'll have to put a sticker order into Newland Printing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Printing. Shout out
Our
to
other
them.
sponsor.
Sponsor.
But yeah, let's end this freaking episode because we're just kind of rambling. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye. Peace.
Bye.
Good episode. Wow.